Hello everyone, how you all doing? Welcome to my channel again. So in today's video we're going to be creating a reversible skirt. Let's get to the point. You need waist measurement, hips, and the full length. Measurements I'm using below there they're a 1 year old, for a 1 year old, and you can just go ahead and measure whoever you're making the skirt for. Measure if it's for you, measure yourself, for anyone you're creating it for. You're going to be working with the hips measurement. We're going to do some calculations. We're going to go ahead and get the hip measurements. We are going to be dividing the hips measurements by 6.28, so it's going to be 21 divided by 6.28. We're going to cut this on your fabric. This is what we're going to be using. So you're going to go ahead and get your fabric. This is 1 yard of the fabric. I hold it on the wrong side because I need to mark it. So I folded it in half. And then I fold it in half again. After folding it, you can see I folded it in this corner over here. You're going to go ahead and mark the measurements that we got over here. So go ahead, instead of doing 3.5, I'm going to go ahead and round it to 5. It don't really matter so much since we're going to be using elastic. From here, from the measurements that we put, we're going to go ahead and put our full length. Again, I'm going to round it to 8 instead of 7.5 inches. I'm going to round it to 8 because we need hemming allowance. I use 1/2 inch for hemming allowance. One thing about circle skirt, if you use larger hemming allowance, it really disturbs to fold it. So that's why I'm using 1/2 inch instead of using something like 1 inch. So you're going to go ahead and connect the dots slowly. And then from here, I'm going to come up 1/2 inch for sewing allowance. So I'll connect the dots too. The reason we added this 1/2 inch is because when we sew down, then to give us the perfect measurements that we made. We're going to go ahead and cut this out. So after cutting out, that's our circle. Use this to cut out the top over here. You can go ahead and pin this out and cut out. So after cutting out this, the second fabric, we're going to go ahead and open it up. Then we're going to open up this other one. So we are doing good sides and the good sides together. You're going to go ahead and pin it down. Remember the 1/2 inch that we came up, I went ahead and marked it and then I pinned down. So I marked it so that it don't disturb me while I'm trying to sew. So we are going to go ahead and sew this down. after putting it together over here, we're going to go ahead and we want to slash it just a little. Don't go all the way far to the line that we have sewn. We just want to create some ease. So we're going to go ahead and open it this way, turn this in here, and then we are going to fold the edges as we press it down. We're going to iron it. After ironing it, you see how perfect it is. It's because I clipped more and I decreased a little bit on the allowance as well. And this is the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and create casing for my elastic. This is how wide my elastic is, but I'll leave some little room. I'm going to go ahead and measure this out. This is 1.25 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and measure 1.25 inches and I mark it all the way around. I marked, I don't know if you guys can see my markings, but I mark and I'm going while pinning around. After pinning it out, I'm going to go ahead and sew, and I will leave an opening for my elastic. I'm going to tap on this pin and this will be the opening that it will remain. For our elastic, it's going to be our waist measurements, and then we shall take about 3 inches away. So I'm going to be using about 16.5 inches. And then with the use of a pin, a safety pin, you're going to go ahead and insert our elastic through in over here in between, and you're going to go ahead and pass it through. So we're going to go ahead and put it together like this and zigzag stitch it. Just, cut this excess side. I gave it a couple of lots of back and forth stitches, and make sure that you're having it, flat, so that it facing each other. You see how it comes through, and then we had it overlap each other. You don't want this to be facing this way because it will not, like standing right in here. So, and then when you pull it, you can see our skirt already. So we're going to go ahead and find our opening and sew down the opening, each time close in that area. So it's time to hem our skirt. This is where we use the hip measurements. so that it's straight and it will be able to go through. The hips all the way to the waist. So we're going to go ahead and hem this up, but first I'm going to lay it like this because this part is kind of a little bit coming out and we don't want that to show. So after cutting it, you can see it. Okay, you can see it over coming from in. So you're going to go ahead and hem the bottom. You can do a serge around hem. You can just fold it 1/4 inch and you hem it down, or you can just put, you know, designs on the bottom. Anything, any way you want it to hem it. It will depend on what you want. But so far this is it. And after hemming it, you want to press around the elastic with the stem. It will help to gather it more. Do you remember when I told you about the hemming allowance? So when you leave like a much smaller hemming allowance on a circle skirt, it's so easier to fold it and you sew. But if you leave a larger one, it's going to really disturb you to fold it all around. Well, this is how it looks on this side. I've not yet hemmed it, but this is how it looks on this side, and this is how it looks on this other side. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.